So, you've taken a photograph of your still life. This is not the one I just showed you. This is something a bit more complicated because I just want to make a point before we go on to actually look at shading and negative spaces. This is more of a complicated still life, and you might look at it and go, oh my goodness, how on earth do I start on that? And I want to teach you how to look as an artist. So what I've done is take a photograph of this, and then I've gone to the photocopying shop and made, on an A4 piece of paper, black and white photocopy of it. Please be careful, I know that sounds a bit silly, but when you're photocopying on a machine, touch on the photo option as well, not just the text or the text and photo. It does make a difference. So you can actually see here that everything is actually put into black and white, and this is actually starting to teach you how to see as an artist, because you're eliminating all the different colors, and you're just going to where the shadow is, the light and the shade. So the light is coming from the left to the right. Then for drawing out, we're going to actually start looking from a linear point of view and start to look, first of all, you need to flatten things in your mind's eye like a jigsaw puzzle, and the only way I can show you how to do this is to show you as an example what it would look like if you actually traced it. Now I'm not asking you to trace it, I don't want you to trace it for the final drawing, but I just want to show you. So we're going from this here, and then I've got this tracing, put tracing paper over this, and then you'll have to excuse me while I actually because this looks so much more complicated. But actually, and people get very, very nervous when drawing things out, but really, this is the sort of technique that you can actually use for anything and everything. The simplest thing or the more complicated things. So you can see I'm just very, very roughly going over this. I should get a stand for this camera. Okay. And then through the beans. I just should point out that these are for exercises. This is not an exercise in composition. I've actually put this together to actually show better ways of drawing out. So I've done it specifically to show you negative spaces, and so I've stuck that down. Get a piece of white paper here. And put it on a piece of white paper. Now, can you see how simple that looks to that and to that? But as an artist, when you look at that, you should be seeing very, very simple lines just for the drawing out basics. Also, when we look at this, what I want you to see is when you're drawing this out is you want to find a point of reference, an object that you can measure everything else by. So for example, I would pick the mushroom and I would use that, the width of that, to actually see how far it goes over here. So that's not as wide as that. And then you can go take the width of the mushroom and measure over here. So that's the kind of width you want for the beans. As well, you can take the measurement of that and go up. By using one object in your still life and using it as a measuring tool around, you can actually measure it clearly out. And I actually will show you how to do that later on. I'm doing short videos, so you can just do it bit by bit. You can stop it and try this yourself and then come back to the next video. Okay, so we're just going to stop that there. If I can find the turning off point.